Good morning, everyone. This is John Altshuler. I'd like to welcome you all to our LifePharm Global Compensation Review, tapping into the money tree. And we're going to go through the compensation here. We're going to try to drill down on some of the finer elements here and just talk about the power of some of the changes that have recently occurred that we're very excited about. And it is going to be an overview. So if you're here and you really have not had an opportunity to really look at this compensation plan uh, very deeply because you're still that new, you're going to get some of the basics here as well. We're going to go through qualifications and we're going to go through all those elements, and then we're going to deepen some of the ones that are a little bit new for everybody to understand those elements as well. So whether you become an expert today or not, that's kind of up to you, but you don't have to be an expert to get paid. And I think that's one of the things that certainly is exciting to me. But if you have a great experience on Laminine, you're going to be impassioned to take this business to the next level. And that's really what's happened with so many of us. There's nothing better than helping people with their health and their wealth. And I'll tell you, there are many people out there striving for wealth, but they do it at a very high cost. And we have something here where we can really get to achieve both of those things together. And so I hope that we can empower some of those financial pieces here today. Setting expectations is kind of important here at the beginning. There are some things here in this framework from this industry that are able to be life-changing for people. You know, you go to a job and you know, maybe the life-changing thing about having a job is, you know, at least you can keep some food on your table. But in an industry like this, you can redesign a life. You can create a lifestyle. And if you understand the mechanisms at work here, you can really achieve some very fast success, but some substantial success. And it's a powerful, powerful business model. And, you know, I like to tell people that everything's possible, but it does depend on you, and it does depend on your participation. You know, people often wonder what my home office looks like. And for those of you who are wondering, where does John work from every day? Well, I just wanted to show you a picture. So if my signal sometimes gets disrupted, that's why, because there's not always great signal out on the island. You know, how do I get around? My personal transportation? Well, there it is. And there's my other form of transportation. So, of course, is it all possible, folks? Certainly it is. Is it work? It absolutely is. And I'm kidding you here. That's not actually my office. It's maybe the goal for my office, and those may be goals for my personal transportation. Okay, but you know, we all have to have a goal, and I just like to show those because to me, anything's possible, and it's what you're willing to do to make that work. You know, setting expectations. Let's go a little bit further. You know, people are looking for, you know, when they come to our company, they're looking for a couple different things. Maybe they're a customer. Maybe they just want to earn free product, enough to maybe cover a credit card payment or enough to make a car payment, or, you know, why are we here? And everyone's got their own reason. And my reason for being here is my reason. And if I start to lay that over onto you, then it's not, you know, we're not working with where you're trying to go. And so as I work with people in the business, it's really important to identify what they want and then help them get there. However you define financial freedom, if that's what you're looking for, be specific. What's your number? You know, is it $1,000 a month, $5,000 a month, $10,000 a month? But you got to have a number, and you have to create intention around that number. The big question that everybody has to ask is, what are you willing? What am I willing? What are we willing to commit to make that happen? That's a big part of the decision. You know, because you can understand this comp plan, but it doesn't do you any good intellectually. Okay, it only does you good if you commit something to it, if you commit some resources to the equation. That's the only time that this ever comes alive. Today's initiative, heck, compensation plans are complicated, especially on the first view. So you don't have to understand everything I'm sharing with you. All you have to do is kind of take it in and remember to always do the basic building block steps, sharing it with somebody else, plugging people into the system, and repeat. You know, there's always a choice and how companies come together. They get products, they look at compensation plans. Some people actually figure out a great comp plan, and then they go look around for a product. You know, businesses have been born that way, okay? But there's another way to do it. If you have a really great product and you just ask the question, what would be the best way to get this product into the marketplace? Well, network marketing, relationship marketing is one of the most powerful business models on the planet. It's proven to be very effective. Its growth pattern can be very steep. It can change a lot of people's lives because it's a grassroots movement. And that's an exciting thing to be a part of. And so is our company, LifePharm Global Network. This is a company where we have an outstanding product, and we have a company that's really worked to design a plan that is what we would say for you, by you. And what that simply means is that they've tried to take things into consideration in terms of how a network marketer or a field leader would actually look and say, well, it'd be great to have this. Wouldn't it be great to have that? And trying to get the best of the best. Nothing's ever perfect, but it's a powerful, powerful plan. There are different pay structures in the industry. There are unilevels, coded trees, matrix trees, binary trees. You'd think we're killing a rainforest here, but the bottom line is that there are different structures. They all have pluses and they all have some minuses. And so what we have tried to do, or what the company has really worked to do, is to kind of take the best out of these elements and leave out the things that have been, less productive for people, less able to find the right kind of success in different types of plans. And so, again, perfection, impossible. Something that can work for a great many, absolutely possible. And I think they've gone a long way to getting there with how they've set up our compensation model. Multiple streams of income. Everybody likes MSI, I believe. Multiple streams of income. The trees, and we take part of all of those pieces that I just showed you, and of course it parlays into all these different mechanisms that we earn from retail bonuses, fast start bonuses, break even, matrix match, coded bonus, coded match. Those we all earn on a weekly basis. Each month we're able to earn things like the leadership bonus, leadership match, global leadership pool. And it's incredible that we have so many things that we get paid by. Starting our team is very easy. Okay, we all have choices as we get started with our business. People can try our product with a money-back guarantee. That's really nice. You and your family can try our product. We have a family package. You can also take advantage of very strategic business builder packages, Edge and Edge Plus. And so if you're looking at this for the first time, and you're saying to yourself, well, I don't, I'm not really sure what the options are. Maybe you got started, you didn't understand what the choices are. Or maybe you didn't know that there's actually a business strategy with the Edge and the Edge Plus. That's something that you need to talk to your leader about. Because what I'm going to lay out for you are some general principles. And I try to stay away from real strategic things because every group, can work a little bit differently. And my way may not be the way one of our other leaders wants their team to build, or has found to be very effective for them. And so out of respect for other leaders on the phone who's doing, their own strategy with their own group, I just want to open the doorway to conversations that you should be having with the leadership in your group, the best way to build and utilize the system that we have with LifePharm Global Network. The Fast Start bonus is one of our first ways of getting paid, because something has to happen before we get paid, and that means activation packages or the family pack or the Edge pack, which start the whole process. Our activation pack is $99 before shipping, of course, and tax, but 3 boxes of product, a personalized website, a virtual office, you have a business. Fast Start means that you're going to get paid 15% on the initial order of each member that you personally enroll. And what we're going to learn here today is there are a couple of acronyms that you probably need to get familiar with. One would be CV, commissionable volume, GV, group volume, matrix volume. We're going to be talking about these things as we go. But when we talk about 15%, all of our compensation is paid out on commissionable volume. Our activation pack, which is a $99 package, has a CV of 78. Okay, so 78 times 15%, of course, is $12. Actually, it's a little bit less. It's 11 something, but they pay us $12. So that would be your Fast Start earnings. On a family pack, 234 CV, you earn $35.10. Okay, so that's how the Fast Start works. It's only on the initial order, and that is something that it's a one-time. You can only have one first order. So that's when the Fast Start is actually paid. The break-even bonus is a way of helping people get their product for free, get their product paid for. Every person that you actually enroll, when they buy product on auto delivery, you get a $4, into your bank account, a $4 break-even bonus. And the goal here being that if you share it with enough people and they're buying it, preferably on auto delivery, which helps everyone get their product on time every single month, then you start to get a bonus back in your pocket for that, hopefully to pay for the cost of your product. Well, here's a couple scenarios for you. If you order 4 boxes per month on auto delivery, that cost is $132. Okay, that's the cost before shipping, of course. If you personally enroll 5 members and they each order 2 boxes on auto delivery, what would that look like? 5 IBOs, that's what we call an independent business operator or owner, okay, times 2 boxes is 10 boxes at $4 per initial box ordered. You receive $40. Okay, 10 IBOs at 4, you do the math. That's actually 40 boxes times 4 does not equal 132. It equals actually 160. Okay, and the company right now has been paying us the full 160, but according to the design of their plan, it would be up to the amount of your auto delivery, which would be $132 in this example. So you get paid that, and right now, as they're switching over to their new system, you're still getting that extra, which is kind of nice, but just keep that in mind. How to get started? Well, it all starts with you, doesn't it? I love what Wiki said at the event, when talking about his mom talking about, if you're going to get something for yourself, Wiki, you're going to have to do it by yourself. And it all starts with you. That's what you have the ability to have control over, is you. So getting started is pretty simple. You become an active associate by sharing it with 2 friends, 2 business people, 2 acquaintances. That's how our system works. It's a matter of just getting the introduction started. This is the building block to our business, caring for others, sharing our product. 2 people who make an order makes you an active or activated associate, and now you become commissionable, okay? So if someone says, how do I earn money with LifePharm? This is where it starts, and this is the building block of our business. I take everything and I say, you know what? If we can break it down to the very base equation, what would the base equation be? You who get 2. And then what would I tell that person? Well, now you've got you, now go get 2. What would I tell that person's first person? Well, we've got you, now go get 2. And this is how we start our business, okay? Now, if we're looking for the bigger strategic question of how do I make $20,000 a month in LifePharm, we just do a whole lot more of that very activity, and we help people understand when they get their 3rd and their 4th and their 5th that they start to amplify the results. They start to throw an exponential factor on their business, okay? The associate rank, when you get 2 who activated and you're active and qualified, you get paid on this matrix, okay? Our matrix is a 2x12, but you're going to see it in chunks here. The first 7 levels you qualify for as an associate, buying 1 box of product a month, having 2 personal enrollments, and guess what? You're now getting paid through 7 levels. Well, if you're just getting started and you just brought in your first 2 people, I got to tell you, you don't have 7 levels yet, but you're eligible as your organization grows, okay? You get paid weekly. Your bonuses are calculated, of course, on the CV on each volume. So when you see level 5 and it says get paid 4%, 4% of what? 4% of all the orders on that level, okay? And we're going to take the total of all the CV, because each order has a CV. So if we have 78 volume, let's see, you have 10 people on level 5 and they all buy 3 boxes of product. That's 10 times 78, that's 780 times 4%, and you just got paid, okay? So enroll the 2 people, become eligible for that, keep 1 box of product a month going during our period, and you will continue to be qualified and earn as an associate. The matrix bonus is another mechanism of pay. And this is looking basically at what we were just looking at here, but basically what it's telling us is that as we build our team, every person in our organization, and if we want to look at this as a family, here's you at the top, the parents, if you will, and then let's say these are all the kids down below, okay? This is the family that we get paid on. Every time someone makes an order within this organization, within this family, you earn income, you earn a check, okay? The matrix matching bonus is kind of fun because as we help other people get successful, as we help other people get a check, well, we can get a match. We can get some of their check as well. And this basically has to do with the very first, the two people that you first enroll into LifePharm Global Network. You get a matching bonus on your first two IBO's weekly earnings as well. So if we look at the you, and then you have the two orange circles here, let's call one A and one B. Okay, those are the very first two people that you brought in. As you all duplicate, and what's duplicate mean? Two who get two, and maybe someone gets three, and maybe someone else gets five. But as you build this organization, those two people, if they're qualified, active, and they've made a purchase as well, they're going to start earning those matrix checks too. That means there's a family of people underneath them who are buying product, and they're getting that CV times those percentages on those levels of the last screen that we looked at. They start to earn checks. You get a 20% match on each one of those people, A and B in this case. You're going to get a 20%, up to a 20% match on their matrix check. If their matrix check is $500, or one of them is, and you're a premier and you're getting 20%, okay, you're going to earn $100. That's a 20% match on the $500 check that they're getting. And that's how the matrix match works. The power of the matrix is kind of neat because you can bless other people. They came up with the slogan a while back called "Love from Above." I just call it, passing on the blessing. Okay, because this is a matrix, and a matrix is a defined structure. Okay, and in our matrix, it's called a 2 by 12. 2 representing how many people you can have directly underneath you in the matrix, and 12 represents the depth that we get paid in the matrix. So when you see a matrix, you're going to see 2, and then 4, and then 8, 16, 32, 64, and you go right on down the list. That's called the exponential structure of a matrix. So when you see this structure, no matter how many people you sponsor, if you sponsored 100 people, if you brought 100 people into this company, you're only going to see 2 on your first level. You're only going to see 4 on your second level. You're only going to see 8 on your third level. What does this mean? It means that when you sponsor people, they have to go underneath other people in your matrix. That means that you're able to give the blessing to people underneath you. If those people the people you're placing or putting into your business fall under other people in your organization, if they're qualified, if they're an associate, if they have a qualifying order that's making them active for the month, they will get a paycheck based on your work. Okay, that's the way we can give and bless other people in this organization as well. Even if they haven't done a lot of work yet, but they've done something, okay, they can earn a check based off of your efforts. And so in the matrix, in this part of the tree, you're actually able to, with a little bit of help and initiative on their own, you're actually able to help them build a check. And that's nice, okay? Sometimes that idea, this love from above, is not an entitlement program. It doesn't mean people should get in the business, get their 2 people, buy a box of product, and wait and see how much money the people above them can make for them, how many people they can put underneath them. There are people that probably have that mindset. I'll just get in and I'll kind of wait and see what happens. Well, you can wait and see, but I can tell you that waiting and see does not create the results that you might be looking for in this type of business model. If you're looking for a life-changing event, if you're looking to create, a regular credit card payment or a car payment or a house payment or redesign your entire life, you can't do it by waiting. You have to do it by doing. And that's a very important message, and I hope that translates here for you. But the power is that we help everybody. It's synergistic, and as a result, we all work together as a team. Become a builder. When you sponsor your third person on, you become a builder, and we're going to kind of drill down on that here right now. We call it becoming a builder. You become a giver. We can bless others. The builder rank. The builder rank means that you've gone a little past 2. You've got your third person now. You're a builder. So they've actually lengthened the depth of the matrix, or should say deepened the matrix here in terms of your pay. Before you got paid on 7 levels. Now you get paid on 10. Okay, you're a builder. Cracking the code here. When you get your third person, you also what they call crack the code. And that means that you're entering into another dimension now of our compensation. What happens when you do a little bit more than the average bear? Well, you get paid a little bit more than the average bear. Okay? And so it's not just about getting the income started, it's now about making the decision. Where do you want it to go? How intentional are you going to be in your business? And that's something I really would recommend you sit down with your leader or the person that's kind of helped you see your way into this business and say, okay, this is what I want to achieve. You know, how much do I have to do? What do I have to do to actually make this happen? And that's where the partnering really starts, and that's where the success, in my opinion, really starts. So let's talk about the coded bonus. What does this look like? What does this mean? This is a new image right here that you're going to see in the new vision of the PDF compensation plan that's now online on LifePharmGlobal.com website. And it shows you, and it shows your first two people. So we know that when we start building our business, we're building this 2x12 matrix. That's the matrix part of our business. And guess what? You can earn a nice income just from the matrix, but it's kind of a starter income as I see it. The real income and the excitement comes from what happens when you take the initiative to build your coded team and you build your personal enrollments, okay? When you see this graphic here in front of you, what you're seeing is more of a unilevel structure. That means anyone that you personally sponsor is going to be on your first level. Now, in the matrix, your first level can only be 2 people wide because that's what's creating the matrix. But in the unilevel, if you sponsored 100 people, they would all be straight across your very first level. So like in this image, you see 1, 2, and that big 10%, we'll call that your third, then your fourth. See, these are all on level 1. And you could go all the way out infinity on your first level in the unilevel. But let's talk about what happens with the dynamic when you get that third person. When you get that third person, the company recognizes that and they say, you know what, you've now done more than the average bear, so we're going to give you something more than the average bear. We're going to give you an additional 10% of the purchase of that IBO every time they purchase. So number 3 there, third personal, 10%. Let's say, for whatever reason, that person fell on the 5th level of your matrix. When they order product, you get paid 4% of that order. That's the matrix part, okay? Now, push that over to the side, and let's look at the coding side of that. The coded side says, I don't care where you are in the matrix. Because you're on my coded team, because that person's on my coded team, I'm going to get paid an additional 10% of their order every time they order. So now I'm going to do a little math here for you. If you get 4% in the matrix and 10% in the coding, how much are they paying you of that person's order? 14% is the answer, okay, if you qualify for the 10%. You'll see down below at the bottom of the page here, it says bonus percentage based on rank, builder, leader, premier. Okay, so this is assuming here in the graphic above that you're premier, okay? So that third person here, you're going to get that extra 10%. So you add those two together, 14%. Now, here's where it starts to get interesting. And this is the part that if you start to understand this, and then you realize the impact of the coded matching bonus, which we're going to talk about coming up, okay, you're going to start to go, wow. So that 10% on number 3, his first 2, and their first 2, and their first 2, and their first 2, and their first 2, to unlimited levels in depth, you get paid that 10%, okay? As deep as that goes. Does it go deep on every single person? No. Does it go deep on some? Absolutely. Okay, so the idea here is that it's all about duplication in our industry. So we have to look at what are the driving aspects to this. How does it work? How can I get this to deliver? You know, how can I get this to really give me the financial blessing that I'm after? Okay, it comes from understanding this aspect of duplication and helping people do that primary activity of 1 who gets 2, 1 who gets 2, and duplicating that strategy, okay, and getting people to understand the power of that. So this goes to unlimited levels in depth. How wide can you go? That means basically what they're saying there is, how many people are you allowed to sponsor? As many as you want. There is no limit, okay? So the coded bonus, if you are a leader, that you're going to see, instead of 10% for number 3, you're going to see 6%, okay? And then their first two, all at 6%. Okay, if you're a builder, it's 2%. If you're a premier, it's going to represent like it is up on the screen right here. Okay, now you'll notice, take that third person. You see what's the percentage on their third person that they enrolled? It's a 0. You might be thinking, oh, they forgot the 1. No, they didn't forget the 1. Okay, because when that third person comes, that coding belongs to that third person. Let's say that number 3 there, let's say that person's name is Tom, okay? So when Tom sponsors his first 2, that's part of my coding. If John is where it says you, and Tom is where it says 10% third person, okay? This code you're looking at is John's code, all right? So when I sponsor Tom here, and Tom gets his first two, that's my coding. I'm getting that paid all the way down to infinity. All right. When Tom sponsors his third person, and that's the person, Mr. 0 over there to the right, that's Tom's coding. Tom gets if he's a premier, he's going to get the 10% on that person and their first two. That's why that number is 0 for John. So when Tom here sponsors his next person, which would go right next to that 0, let's just imagine there's another, space right here. Okay, I can't draw on here because this version of webinar unfortunately doesn't allow me to. But this right here, let's say there was another person right here, sponsored by Tom, another 0. Tom, now that's going to be 0 to me also, but Tom's going to get that 10% and their first two. And guess what? When this person gets their third person, Tom doesn't get the coding on that anymore. This person now gets the coding, first two, to unlimited levels in depth. So I'm spending more time here on this screen because if you understand how this duplicates and how to drive this, you're going to build a life-changing income with this company. Okay, so it's about what happens. The first 2 are very important. We want good people. People say to me, well, do we want my best person in first or my best person in third or 8th, or what's the strategy? We want all your people to be the best people, okay? There are benefits that come from every level, and that's something you can sit down and talk to your team leader about. All right, let's go on to the coded matching bonus, and we'll have some time for some questions here at the end. The coded matching bonus, this is a new image, also part of our new plan that you're going to see online. And I think it shows a great example here of how this works. Now, what we saw in coding is the first two. That same kind of concept goes on here, but the coded matching bonus is based on coded matching teams. All right? So in this example, you're going to see you at the top with your first 2, and then you sponsor your third, and now that green-ish color represents your coding. That third person's first two, that's your code. That's the previous page we just looked at, okay? But now, remember how Tom sponsored that third person and it was a 0? Well, now you're going to see where the compensation comes from those people that you don't get coding on anymore. You now get coded match, okay? Coded matching bonus through 5 generations of coded matching teams. Now, the image that you see in front of you looks like those teams go boom, 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 down 5 levels, okay? You can get these 5 generations of coded matching teams as deep as it takes in your organization to get them. That's what, it's unlimited. So in this image here, you're going to see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, all right there, all 5. So you might look at this and say, well, I got 5 generations, I got 5 levels, but what happened if in here somewhere in this space you have somebody that doesn't get a third person and it goes straight down a couple more, and maybe it would push this down to a level 6 or 7 or 8 in order to capture 5 generations of people that sponsor a third person. If that's the case in this mechanism of pay, it's okay because it's unlimited depth. It's unlimited depth. So let's talk about this. Let's walk our way through it. We got me up there, okay, or you, but in this case it's easier because I don't know all your names here. We'll just call you as John. The green dot here, this is Tom right here, okay? So Tom's got his first two, that's all my coding. But now Tom goes out and sponsors Emily, okay? Emily right here becomes the first coded matching team because Emily is Tom's third person. So if you were to cover your hand over the U and the 2 gray dots up there, and you said, and Tom was at the top, okay? This third person right here is representing Tom's coding, okay? So Emily's coded to Tom, but to me up here as John, she's my first generation of coded matching team, okay? Because Tom gets the coding, but I get the coded match. So this is what's so cool about this. So I get the coded matching bonus. So when a coding is earned, I get a match on that coded check of this individual, okay? And their first two to unlimited levels in depth. I'm going to pause briefly here for that to sink in. Not just their coded matching team, but the first generation of coded matching team is infinity deep. Their first two, all the way to the center of the earth, okay? And that's pretty exciting. So whenever these people here, whenever this person here gets their third person, what does that mean? Or this person, for that matter, gets their third person. That becomes my second generation of coded matching team. And their first two to unlimited levels in depth is now my second generation of coded matching team. And if you look up here, you'll see second generation 10%. All right, that means I get a 10% match on their coded check, not of their order, but their coded check. Okay, so it's a first generations, first two, and then whenever any of those people in that first coded matching team sponsors their third person on, guess what? That's my second generation of coded matching team. And when anyone within the second generation coded matching team, no matter how deep it goes, when they get their third person on, guess what? That's my third generation of coded matching team. And that goes first two down to unlimited levels in depth. And so down on level 100, one of those people in my third coded matching team gets their third person. That's my fourth generation of coded matching teams. And when they get their third person on, that's my fifth generation on down to infinity. I hope that that's clarifying it for you and that you understand the power of infinity and these coded matching, this coded structure and how that works. And so if you look up above here, you'll see coded matching bonus. You're going to see generation 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and the percentage of the match that you will get on those particular checks. Okay, earn this coded matching bonus through 5 coded generation teams, and that's what we're referring to here, unlimited depth and so on. Leader rank. Let's talk for a moment, just continuing to advance here. You now have 6 people enrolled. You're a leader. Okay, you can also enroll 2 people that become builders, and you'll also become a leader. What this does is it, again, gives you another level. Okay, so this is a 2 by 11 matrix. We add the 11th level on, we get another 4%. Now you're a leader. We're getting down to the bottom of the bucket here of gold. All right. Premier. The premier rank is going to get us down to all 12 levels. Okay, you do that by enrolling 10 people. You can also utilize the Edge and the Edge Plus for additional ways to fast track yourself to Premier for a period of time, where you can enroll 5 people who become builder rank, and that will also promote you to Premier. Definitely a worthwhile endeavor. My recommendation is go take charge, get 10 people, and help as many of those people who are ready to say, I want more, go out and do the same thing. I remember us, Irene, who's on this call today, asked me back in November because I just won the Mercedes, I think, and she was saying, what do I have to do to get that Mercedes or to build, to build a check? I think I told Irene, she told me this when we were at the event. I think I told her, go get 10 people and teach them how to each get 10 and see what happens. And that's exactly what she did. And she was up on stage getting a reward here at the last event. So congratulations. Leadership bonus. This is another mechanism of pay. What you're going to see here in terms of this image is a unilevel structure. This is not the matrix. Okay. So I want to separate this out for you and give you this understanding that when we're talking about the matrix, we're talking about, we are building a team. We're building it synergistically with our group. We are building it in a way that we're able to bless others. And we're, there's a lot of great group energy there, and it's wonderful. And it can create a check. But the design a life kind of check happens from the work that you do. And these elements of coded bonus, coded match, leadership, and the things we're talking about now are the right side. This is where the major income actually is derived. So the leadership bonus, how does this work? So you're going to see this as a unilevel tree, and it shows you 4 positions here, but it could be 100 positions wide. Okay, it's not limited. As we look at this, we're going to call this the generational tree. When you enroll a new member, they will be direct to you in your first generation or your first level in this case. Okay, when they enroll somebody, that's direct to them, that'll be your second generation or your second level. Okay, but it's there first. All right, so on and so on and so on. In this particular bonus, when you have a leg, if you will, and each one of these dots represents a leg, 20,000 CV leadership bonus. That's what it's based on. So when your entire group that you have built, that you are responsible for, that you brought to the company, and those people have duplicated and duplicated and duplicated, and when you build a group of at least 20,000 volume, you are now eligible for this bonus. As a builder, it's 2%. As a premier, it's 5%. Okay. We're going to now look at this, and we're going to break this down for you here. All right, I'm going to just do a check-in here and make sure that I am being heard. It's always nice to know that. I'm just going to open your microphone, Emily, and make sure that it's. Oh, your microphone is open. So if you are live, Em, just let me know that we're good and you can hear everything. Okay. I think you're muted on your end. Anyway, very good. So let's go ahead with this. Oh, here we go. I'm going to back up here. So let's take a look at each one of these. We're going to call A your first leg. And let's say that that person has built an organization of 10,000 CV. And B has created a leg of 15,000 CV. And C has created a leg of 22,000 CV. And D has created a leg of 8,000. Okay, collectively, that's 55,000 in volume. So in the leadership bonus, what does that mean? Okay, number one, 55,000, is that more than 20,000? The answer is yes. Okay, you qualify for leadership bonus. So here's what it would be. Leader A, 5% of Leader A as a premier, 10,000 volume, $500. Leader B, $750. Leader C, 0. Oh, 0. Why is that? They have a volume of 22,000. Okay, that's more than 20,000. That means they get the leadership bonus on their organization. So let's say level C, number C here, has, or letter C, has 4 legs themselves. And they have a 5,000, a 5,000, a 7,000, and another 5,000. That's 22,000. Okay, they're getting to enjoy the leadership bonus. Okay, that's why yours is 0. Okay, so 5% of Leader D is 400. There is your leadership bonus based on this organizational layout. Okay, so let's talk about the leadership match. So that's the leadership, and we're going to tie that into the leadership match because now they correlate. Now they come together because of a new part of our compensation plan called the leadership matching bonus. Take these 4 people, okay? Same organizational numbers. Let's look at how the leadership matching bonus works. Same volume. On leader A, there's no match. Now remember, here's what the match is. 100% match on the second largest leg up to a limit of $1,000 combined on leadership bonus and leadership matching bonus on leg 2 only, the second largest leg. Okay, let's establish first which is the second largest leg. 22,000 is the largest leg. The second largest leg is 15,000. Okay, and that's leader B. So level A, or leader A, no match. That's not your second largest leg. Leader B is, but let's look at leader C really quick. No match on C, no match on D. Okay, only the second largest leg. So that's 15,000. Leader B, the second largest leg. Now in the leadership bonus, that leg of 15,000 earned you how much money? $750. Okay, as a premier. 5% of 15,000 is $750. But you get a match, okay, and that match is going to take you up to a total of $1,000. So that match is actually going to be $250. Now you might be thinking, wow, $750. I'm going to get a match of that. That's another $750. I'm going to get $1,500 off of that leg. Well, you would, but there's a limit of $1,000. What this whole concept is about is giving you a stepping stone as you go from leadership into the global pool, okay, which has been re-swizzled here, which I'm going to show you next. But the reason is that those global pools were diminishing in so much value because, you know, a pool can only stay viable for so long, especially when they make it so easy for people to get into that pool over time. Those pool shares were on their way down, 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 down. So they had to find a way to bring value back to these components. And so they've really done a wonderful job here in the stepping stone into the global pool on another share-based mechanism, which I'm going to show you here next. So I hope this makes sense here. But as soon as you qualify for the global pools, you don't get this leadership match anymore. This is an intermediary step. It's when you have one leg over 20,000 and you have other legs under 20,000, but you're not quite in the pool. You're not in the pool yet, but you've already seen one of your legs, you know, essentially break away. And now you're going, well, I'm kind of in this no man's land here. Well, that's where the leadership matching bonus jumps in and lends you a hand up as you get into the global pool. So here we are in the global pools. The global pool is 3% of the global CV put into a pool, which we can all share in, okay? And here's how it works. To qualify for shares in this pool, you need to have a minimum of 2 20,000 volume legs. Once you've achieved these 2 legs over 20,000, you're going to get 1 share per leg with unlimited leg potential. But the door opener is 2 legs, all right? You have to have 2 legs in order to get in. So you get in, and then once you're in, you get 1 share for every 20,000 CV leg. So if you have 2 shares, you get in, or 2 legs, I'm sorry, you get in and you get 2 shares. If you have 3, you get 3. You got 4, you get 4, and that's how it works. When you qualify for this pool, you're not eligible for the leadership matching bonus. And keep in mind that the leadership matching bonus, which they've actually kind of taken a little piece of the global pool to fund that. And what that actually means is that the global pool is going to have a they're going to take that leadership matching bonus out of the global pool, and that's probably going to be a very small fractional percentage that's going to come off of that 3%. But the rest of it is going to be funded into a share value through this pool system. Share in the global profits, and I think they're going to be well worth sharing. Milestone awards. Once you achieve a director rank, you will be awarded in grand style. Here's some of the things that you can find either in the mail or at the local dealership. You know, director titles, custom pins, certificates, cash bonuses, new cars, laptops, TVs, and trips. All sounds pretty good. So how do you get some of those? Well, Silver Director is going to bring you $1,000 and a nice portfolio book, and I'll show you a little chart on how you can get all these things. But the Gold Director, you know, some nice additional cash and TV and computers and all these things. It's kind of nice when they're giving you things that actually you can help build your business with. getting a computer and that type of thing. Maybe a nice flat screen TV where you can do a nice, YouTube presentation or something like that on your with your LifePharm business. Platinum Director, $12,000 that go towards a car. If you have an existing car and you don't have it paid off, you can have them direct those $12,000 to that car payment, to that car loan that you have outstanding. $5,000 in cash, or combine the two, go buy yourself a car. Okay, maybe you have to add a little to it. Maybe that's going to do it, whatever your pleasure is. Titanium Director, well, you can go out and buy a whole car, title and all, $65,000. Put yourself in a luxury car and enjoy the benefits of being a Titanium Director. This isn't a car lease. This isn't a car payment. This is a car that you get to own free and clear. As you continue the journey here to Diamond Director, get a $100,000 bonus, a Rolex watch, trip for two to Europe. And as you make the Royal Diamond Director position, you get to enjoy a $500,000 cash bonus and a trip for 4. And I think those are all things worth looking forward to. It's not over yet, folks. I want to explore, at least open the idea here to you that the promotion, that there's an opportunity for you to advance your business, to move it a little bit faster. And that's the Edge and the Edge Plus. And I mentioned to you at the beginning of the call that some of these things go into strategy. And these are areas where you really need to sit down with your leader and go through that. But in short, why would someone consider one of the larger packages? There's a couple different reasons. You get a little free product. You get to improve the profitability in your business. And more importantly, the most to me is you compress time in building